So, it is the end of the month. That means it is time to show you the next game of GAM, my Game a Month project. And what I made is sadly a disappointment to me. Now, to other people, it might not be. To other people, it might be a pretty decent game. But to me, I am not happy with it. It is disappointing to say the least because not only do I feel I didn't make the game as well as I could, it's not even what the game was originally intended to be, and it's not what I think the game could be. Now, the game I made was kind of a puzzle horror game called Lucid. Now, how my games work is either A, they're an idea I had a long time ago, I dropped because I don't feel like I could have done them, or B, which is what the past two have been, they were generated with a random generator. So for Lucid, what I got was incremental horror. And with that idea, I decided to make an incremental survival horror. The game is neither of those. The original premise was you would have two phases. You would have a diagnostic phase and a survival phase. In the diagnostic phase, you would press a button to get points of something, use those points to buy weapons, ammo, stuff like that. And then you'd go into a level, try to beat the level, and then go on to the next level. And whenever you died, you'd go back to diagnostics and your stress level would increase. And that would trigger permadeath. When permadeath was triggered, you would have to restart all over without any of your weapons, your ammo, only your diagnostics upgrades. That didn't happen, mostly because I felt like I didn't have time to do all the necessary resources to make that kind of game. No matter how much I wanted to make that kind of game, I don't think I could have. However, I still did try to shove the incremental part of the game into what this game turned out to be, and it just didn't feel good. In the game, there is kind of a subworld where you go to switch the overworld to a more glitchy take. And originally, how you were going to do that at first was you would sit in the chair, click a button to get maximum stress or whatever, and once you did that, the world would change. But it felt disruptive, even more so than what it is now, which I feel is still a little disruptive. And I think I could have maybe implemented it better. I scrapped it and just made it so once you click it, it does what it needs to do, and you can continue on with the video game. I also don't feel like there's any real horror to the game. It's not scary. The scariest thing about it is that you're alone in a house. That's it. And it's dark outside. It's not scary. At least I don't think it's scary unless it's 2 in the morning and I'm working on it and I feel holes in the back of my head, but that might be another problem. The happiest I am about the game is the puzzles and the thumbnail, which I had a friend of mine make, which is awesome because it looks awesome. It looks great. The puzzles, I'm not gonna spoil them, but I think they're, they're not insane puzzles, but I think they're pretty fun. Now, with every game project, I want to learn something more about game development. For Ari, it was about actually, making a full game. I learned about save systems, sound. Still not good with sound, but I learned how to use sound. For this game, one of the main things I learned how to do was camera switching and blend targets. When you play the game, the doors are kind of inspired by My Friendly Neighborhood, which came out recently. The door transitions in that game are awesome, and I loved them. So I was like, that's really cool. I want to implement that. And I did. And I think it's really cool. I also learned how to do rudimentary puzzles and how to use sound attenuation. I think that's how you say that, which is basically the further you get away from sound, the quieter it is. I also learned the importance of organization because I tried to organize the project midway through and it broke everything, so I stopped. Other than that, though, Lucid is out on itch. It might get picked up and played by some people. I'm recording this, I think, 2 hours after I released it. A little more than 2 hours. Like 3 hours after I released it. It has one download. So I hope some people play it. I hope some people have fun with it. I could have done better. I want to do better. Maybe in the future, I'll do what I want with the game, both story wise and mechanics wise, because in the last week, I did think of how to make the game more interesting, but I obviously couldn't act on it because I had a week left. So, kind of dropped it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go play my other games along with Lucid. Thank you. Goodbye.